If you want to take quick action with your finances, then stick around. I'm sharing my 24 best financial tips with you. I have budgeted for more than a decade, and I paid off $35,000 in student loan debt in just 2 years, 5 months. So you know these tips have got to be good. Stick around. Hey guys, welcome back to the Debt Free Millennials channel. I'm your host, Justine, and here we talk about all the ways to achieve financial confidence, crush that debt so that you can lead a fun life with fewer payments. If that sounds good to you, then go ahead and click that red subscribe button, and I'm going to rapid fire go through all of my best financial tips with you. If you hear something, just do a mental check mark in your mind of, yes, I got that, yes, I got that, if you hear something that you're like, I don't know about that, scroll to the description box of this video and I will leave a link to relevant content and videos that I've created all about this subject. So let's go ahead and get started with tip number one. Number one, write down income and expenses every month. You know I was gonna do that as number one, but truly the budget was the number one tool that helped me pay off that $35,000 in student loan debt very, very quickly on a very small income of just $37,000 per year. Writing down your income and expenses is the best way to actually look at the transactions, take a look at your spending, and see exactly whether or not you're going in the negative or you're coming out positive at the end of the month. It's the best planning tool to hit your financial goals and to become debt-free. Number two is to create a debt-free plan using Vertex42.com's debt reduction calculator. This calculator is an online spreadsheet where you can input all of your debt amounts, your interest rates, your minimum payments, and then realistically put in different numbers for extra payments on top of your minimums in order to get that debt-free plan in order, in place, and hit it as fast as possible. I love this tool. It's so amazing. It's free. You can download it as a Google Sheet or an Excel spreadsheet so that you can see exactly how much money you should be putting towards each debt as you go. It also gives you different scenarios to take a look at if you wanted to do debt avalanche, where you're paying off debt according to the highest interest rate, or you're paying off debt snowball where it's the lowest outstanding balance, or a combination called the stair-stepper method or a custom approach of your choosing. It's really, really simple to do, and I highly recommend this tool. Number three, if you have multiple student loans, pay off one student loan debt at a time with that extra payment rather than putting that extra payment across all of your student loans. This was a tip that I wished I would have done in the beginning. I actually didn't know about this until later on in my debt-free journey when I saw that you could actually allocate your extra payment towards a specific loan. When you do that, you actually get motivated to pay off that one student loan the fastest, and it actually increases the likelihood of you paying it off even faster. So you're going to go ahead and put minimum payments towards all of your student loan debt like normal, and then that extra payment, you're going to go back in and put that extra payment towards a specific loan of your choosing. It could be the highest interest rate, it could be the smallest outstanding balance, whatever it is. That way you're zeroed in on that one student loan debt, and it gets you paying off that debt much faster. Number four, index funds are a low cost and easy way to invest. Hands down, this is the number one way that I am investing in my retirement, by investing in low cost index funds. And I'm primarily doing this with Vanguard. If you don't know what index funds are, I will leave a link to a video below for you to check out. Number five, utilize a high yield savings account for your emergency fund. Best way, you get the interest, it's parked there, that money is just constantly earning interest every day. If you're using something like Ally Bank, then this is a no-brainer for you. Any time that you're putting an emergency fund into a savings account that's literally paying you peanuts, I'm talking like 0.5%, which I know that there are banks out there, Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, those are awful banks, and you should be running to a high yield savings account for your emergency fund all the time. 6, utilize Fetch Rewards to get free gift cards. You simply scan your receipt, you get points, you earn up those points, and then you can redeem them for gift cards of your choosing, including Starbucks, Target, or Amazon. This is a great way for you to still feel like you're spending money without spending money from your allotted budget. 7, do not get a retail credit card ever. I'm talking Victoria's Secret, Old Navy, Marshalls, whatever it may be. If they're Nordstrom, those retail retail credit cards get you hooked to continue to spend with that specific retailer, and you're not really getting rewarded for any outside spending that you're doing other than building up points and rewards to continue to spend on material items. I do not enjoy retail credit cards. I think they are the worst thing ever because it just keeps you in the spending cycle. Rather, you could use a credit card that has a really great cash back system or a travel reward system where you can redeem those points for hotels and flights. I personally use Chase Sapphire to build up those points so that I can use it to travel to places like Europe. Most recently, I cashed in points to stay 2 nights at Caesar's Palace, and I upgraded for free, so I got to stay on the Strip, a really nice hotel. Amazing. These are the types of credit cards that you should be looking for. Number 8, pay cash for cars. Oh my gosh, it's like nails on a chalkboard whenever I see a really high car payment when I am reviewing people's budgets. In fact, LendingTree had found that the new car average car payment was $725 per month, and a used car payment was averaging $516 per month. This is absolutely insane because it is something that you can easily save up for had you planned ahead of time. We all know that cars eventually crap out and that you're going to have to buy a replacement car. Whether or not you're the type of person that likes to drive a new car every 5 years, or you can really hold off and push it every 10 or 15 years, you need to have a plan in place where you're saving for that car every single month. In fact, NerdWallet found that the average car loan interest rate is now more than 11%. This is so bonkers when I used to hear about car loans being around 2 to 3%. So a lot of people were okay taking out a car loan because the interest rates are so low. The economy is different. Today is different because the interest rates are just so much more. Plan ahead for that car purchase and pay cash for cars. Number 9, add your child as an authorized user for your credit card. Big warning here, big warning here. I want fire sirens and everything going off on this video because you have to make sure that you have taught your child financial literacy and responsibility. I'm thinking specifically about those who are middle school or in high school. And if they're figuring out they're an authorized user on your credit card and then they're going out and spending money and then it becomes a mess. I'm talking about adding them as an authorized user when they are babies. I literally just did this for my 2.5-year-old daughter. I've added her, she's 2 years old. This is insane. You're like, why are you doing this? She has so much runway until she is an adult and until she gets her own credit card to really build up her credit score. Because she is added as an authorized user, she gets to start creating a credit score without her having to do anything. I'm setting her up for financial success, and plus I'm teaching her financial literacy though so that she understands and knows exactly how to handle her money and do it in a very responsible way. And I know the credit score is a big factor and indicator of how well she is doing with her finances, in hopes that she takes that and uses that power to be able to get a really great credit card on her own, get an apartment on her own without needing a co-signer, purchasing a house one day. These are some financial milestones that I want her to be able to achieve, and I don't want the credit score to be holding her back, which is why I added her as an authorized user for a credit card. It's very easy to do. Number 10, contribute up to your employer match in your employer-sponsored retirement plan. Ideally, you would want to max this out to the max contribution limits for your 401k or 403b or TSP, but at minimum, be sure you are contributing up to the employer match because it's free money that goes towards your retirement. And if you are vested 100%, meaning you get to take all those contributions when you leave, it's an even no-brainer choice. So make sure that you're contributing up to the employer match. 11, utilize taxable brokerage accounts to save for short, mid, and long-term savings goals. Number 12, save monthly for short, mid, and long-term savings goals. When I delineate between short, mid, and long, I'm thinking, is it less than a year? Is it 2 to 3 years? Is it more than 5 years? And really you can kind of take a look at whenever you want to hit those goals. Typically down payments are longer savings goals, whereas maybe a trip to New York City is a short-term goal, or a mid-year goal is really thinking about purchasing a new car. Number 13, no more than 35% of your take-home pay should be going towards rent or a monthly mortgage. If it's more than 35%, you are really on the high end, and you need to really consider and move into a rental or a house that has a mortgage payment or a monthly rent number that is 35% or less. Typically, when you're looking at high cost of living areas such as LA, New York, the Bay Area, you're going to see rent pushing that 35% marker. If you're living in the Midwest, Kansas City, St. Louis, Minneapolis, you're going to see it more towards that 30-25% marker. You're looking for a range between 25 and 35% so that you're not house poor and the house is not eating up your budget alive, that you can really focus on other financial goals. Number 14, sell things on Facebook Marketplace. I've had such success with this, not only when I was paying off debt, but since I've become debt-free in 2014, I still utilize this as a great way to make extra money and get rid of things inside of your home. Number 15, look at missingmoney.com for unclaimed property in your name. I saw this spot on Good Morning America recently, and I thought this is such a great idea. So many businesses such as, let's call it Applebee's, you left Applebee's and you forgot to pick up your last paycheck. It's unclaimed property. You need to go in and claim that property by simply adding your name, adding your information, and going and collecting that. You never know. There could be $25 sitting under your name that hasn't been claimed in years. Check it out. It could be really special. In fact, if you do this, if you go on to missingmoney.com and you find unclaimed property, let me know in the comments and see how much money, I want to know how much money you've claimed from that and what you're going to use it for. Number 16, make extra interviews by going into paid focus groups using userinterviews.com. This is something that one of my clients told me about, and she said it's super easy because you can do it all from the comfort of your home. The only caveat is that they typically pay out in gift cards. However, I still love gift cards because you can utilize those things to pay for groceries, which keeps you out of spending from your budget. I love this idea. Let me know if you end up using user interviews as a way to make extra cash. I've seen different studies where you could be making up to $125 for 1 hour of your time. Number 17, combine finances with your partner. If you are married, if you are in a long-term relationship, you're in it for the long haul, combining your finances, especially for those shared expenses, the rent, mortgage, utilities, the subscriptions, everything needs to go into one account. We're not roommates anymore. We're working on our financial goals together. I absolutely don't mind if you have separate spending accounts. If you're like, I want my fun money in one account and their fun money in one account, but combined, we're putting everything into this joint checking account. This is going to simplify things for you, I promise. I actually had a coaching client, a couple, where things were just all over the place. One person was paying for daycare, one person was paying for rent, one person was paying for groceries, and nobody had oversight over the other. When they combined things into a checking account, oh my goodness, things became much more simplified. The spending habits changed because they were now working towards shared goals. Number 18, switch to 6-month premiums and max out your deductibles on your car insurance to save on your premiums. And what I typically like to do is I like to set aside monthly amounts, savings amounts towards my car insurance, and then when it's due in 6 months, I just go ahead and pull that money out of savings and then I pay it. If you have deductibles for your collision and comprehensive that are like $250 or $100, take a look and see if you can max that out to $1,000 or more. See how that impacts your premium. It is going to lower it because you're taking on and shouldering more responsibility if you were to get in an accident where comprehensive and collision coverage is involved. It's really easy to do. You can actually go into your car insurance provider's portal, take a look at how you can change things, and then get an estimate of comparing the cost. If you have more than $1,000 in your emergency fund, then yes, this is what the emergency fund is for, to cover things like if you were in an accident, it would be to cover things like a deductible. It's super simple. Let me know if this works for you to lower your car insurance premiums. Number 19, get a cheap unlimited data plan that is no more than $35 a month, and I am currently doing this with Mint Mobile that is attached and accesses the big cell towers from T-Mobile. I have been with Mint Mobile for over 2 years now, and it has been so simple for me to do. And I still have my data plan. I still connect to Wi-Fi. I don't have any connection problems. If Mint Mobile services your area, this is one I highly recommend. My referral link is linked below for you to check out. Number 20, eat at home or bring lunches from home Monday through Friday. Monday through Friday, this is the deal. This is what we're doing, which means number 21 is to meal prep on Sunday afternoons. Kyle and I have been doing this for about a month now, and it has been such a time saver for me. When we pick up our daughter after school and I'm getting ready to make dinner, I don't have to try to figure out what I'm defrosting from the freezer or figuring out what I'm going to be making for dinner that night. In fact, when we meal prep on Sundays, we're typically just meal prepping protein. We're meal prepping all of the meats. So ground turkey, ground beef, chicken. Last weekend, I did a pork tenderloin that I got from Costco. It was 7.5 pounds from Costco for $20. I cut it in half, I put half in the crock pot, and then we've been able to eat on that all week long. Meal prepping on Sundays is going to help you quickly grab things to make for lunch and have that on hand for lunches and dinners Monday through Friday. And side note, I say Monday through Friday because I'm also a big fan of eating out and taking advantage of happy hours in restaurants. So typically Kyle and I are doing happy hours on Friday, and then we feel okay and give ourselves permission to spend on a nice restaurant or a nice dinner on Saturday, and then we have leftovers to eat on Sunday, and then we meal prep again on Sunday afternoon. It makes it a really great balance in between the two of eating at home versus eating out, if you can dedicate those specific times where you know you're going to be making lunches and dinners at home. 22, Costco diapers and wipes are the best buy ever. Check Sam's Club. I'm not a Sam's Club member. Costco is just the closest thing to me. But here's the deal. $45 for 198 diapers. This is like the best thing ever. And the diapers are really good. They're really absorbent. They're soft. They fit. They're great. The Up and Up brand from Target is a disaster. They don't absorb the moisture like the Kirkland brand diapers do, and they're 22 cents per diaper. Now, I price checked this against what I saw at Target. So at Target, they were selling a box of Pampers for $45 for 120 diapers. That's about 37.5 cents per diaper. So really, you're getting 78 more diapers from Costco for the same price. It is the best deal. I love the Costco diapers and wipes. You save a ton of money. In fact, with the Costco wipes, they're so large, you can literally tear them in half and continue to use them. It's the best thing. 23, 2 to 3 months in your starter emergency fund should be built up of basic living expenses before you start your debt-free plan. A lot of personal finance experts, Dave Ramsey, are gonna tell you $1,000 and then stop and then move on to your debt-free payoff. $1,000 is simply not enough to sustain and to pay for today's emergencies and unexpected expenses. Think about if you were to lose your job, or you got sick and you needed to go to the hospital, or your child got sick. $1,000 is not going to be enough. In fact, the new Apple iPhone 15 is $1,000. And if you were to drop your phone in the toilet, then there goes your entire emergency fund, which is why 2 to 3 months of living expenses is just so much more comfortable and easy for you to have in place, and then move on into your debt-free journey. In fact, that leads me into my next tip. 24 is 6 months of living expenses. Basic living expenses should be set aside for a fully funded emergency fund, and you're typically building that up after you pay off all of your debt. And which leads me into tip 25. This is an extra tip for you because it was on my mind. I was thinking about it. If you're working with a financial advisor, ask them how much you are paying them in fees. Have them give you a dollar amount. If it's 1% or more, you are overpaying in advisory fees. Ask them what exactly they're doing. Most of the times they're not doing anything. If you have the interest in self-managing, great. I am not a financial advisor or a CFP, but I have found that self-managing my investments has been the best thing for me because nobody cares about my money more than me. And I'm saving the most amount of money because I'm not paying any advisory fees in order to do this. Check that. please check that and make sure you understand exactly how much you're paying in advisory fees, specifically a dollar amount, and see how that's impacting the long run. Those are my best financial tips for you. I hope you walked away with something that you're like, yes, I need to look into that, or I got this. Again, I have all the relevant videos related to all of my tips located in the description box below. Give this one a big thumbs up. If you're not part of the family, come and join us. We are committed to growing this channel to more than 100,000 subscribers strong, and millennials who are committed to achieving that financial confidence and crushing debt very fast and very quickly with a lot of fun. And I'll catch you in the next video.